Today I'll talk about serving and protecting to the dear police officers over there. If you're a believer in forced vaccination, restrictions for unvaccinated people, health pass, total surveillance, both physical and digital, segregation, diversion, or children being used as guinea pigs for an experimental vaccine, I'm sorry to say that I do not believe that you're upholding your oath. I don't believe that you're here to serve and protect, and I don't think that you're worthy of the badge that you carry. Because these things have nothing to do with serving or protecting. These are only breaches of human rights, Nuremberg conventions, numerous other conventions, and not to mention highly unconstitutional. They're imposed on us by a government leading with lies and deceit. They're refusing to answer reasonable questions posed by reasonable people and masking all the facts through censorship. This is not a democracy anymore, this is a tyranny. And this tyranny is being imposed on us only for a price of control and money. The rich get richer, and our incompetent elected official gets rewarded with pay rises and promotions. How much longer are all these police forces, security forces, everyone else in the public sector, how much longer are you going to continue to serve a corrupt government as opposed to the people that you swore to protect? Whoa. How much longer will you tolerate being rejected your request to take your paid leave for your overtime while the people above you are on $1 million a year salary with no overtime and no weekends? Do you think that these people that you're serving by imposing all these unlawful restrictions and fines are going to care about you when you're sitting at home, bruised and battered from all the scars you've received on your duty? That's why we are calling on all security forces, police, firefighters, security guards, nurses, everyone in the frontline personnel to join forces worldwide through a decentralized movement, say no to the mandates, say no to the no job, no pay, and start pressing back against the system that slowly over the years have eroded with budgets, targets, minimum quotas, and bosses afraid of taking responsibility. I'm not saying I'm right, I'm not saying I'm disagreeing with your choices, I'm only asking you to make an informed decision. Did you take the vaccine because you genuinely believe it will help you and protect you? Fine. Or did you really take it out of fear? Fear of losing your job, your position in the hierarchy, fear of not being accepted and not fitting in. Are you faithfully being tested just to keep the peace at work or at home while feeling rotten inside because deep down inside you know in your core something ain't right? When 150 million people worldwide start marching for the same causes and under the same slogans, you ought to ask yourself if these people are truly onto something. You owe it not only to yourself, but also your family and your children, and not least the oath you swore to serve and protect, to seek information objectively, make your own conviction of what's truly going on. And when you're out on patrol next time, and you end up in a corona-related incident, because you will sooner or later be there, as too many people are waking up to the tyranny, the only thing I'll ask you is to be a reasonable human being and make reasonable decisions. You have the power to decide if a father is going to go home and tuck his little girl into bed tonight. You hold the power to ruin a young person's future by charging them of a crime. So take a moment next time, watch what is happening around you, breathe and make reasonable decisions based on reasonable thinking. The people that you deal with every day, many are afraid, many are not trusting in you because of past experience. Try and embrace them as humans and see through your disagreements instead of judging them beforehand because they have a different opinion than you. I wasn't perfect when I was a cop, but slowly over the years I woke up to the fact that the approach that we dealt with how we were dealing with people became harsher and harder. The language we used in communication became slowly more rotten and vulgar. The way you referred to people you dealt with as shitheads and dirtbags became a norm. It has become a norm to judge before we talk instead of interacting as human beings. Because that's all we are, human beings fighting over our freedom to choose, and so are all of you up there behind those uniforms. Because this is not us and them or me and you, but it's a we, and we have to live in a society that has room for us all. But a society needs rules, and these rules comes in forms of laws according to how you want your society to work. Without this rule of law, there's only chaos. But the problem we have today is that we have played crime bosses in the position of power. So the question we as a people is that if the people elected to rule do not act according to these laws of society, how do we get rid of them? How do we move them from the position of power? The bottom line is, how do we bring back rule of law into our society? We can do that in many ways, but my suggestion, our suggestion, is that we do it through massive civil disobedience. Peacefully rise up and stop cooperating. Turn your back on them and walk away. It makes them weak. They have power only if we use their systems, buy their goods and services. It's just like in a narcissistic relationship. The more you pay attention to them, the more power you give them. We do not need them. They need you. So walk away, build your own community, base it on rule of law, set up your own local supply chains. You only need the right people around you to be invincible. This is how it's always been. Simple. Relax and breathe and enjoy. This was pretty much it, but I just want to say the last thing in English as well. With Police for Freedom, we are cooperating very much with our advisor, who is a professor in peaceful activism. He has a campaign going on called We Are Human, We Are Free, and I highly suggest all of you to go into the website wearehumanwearefree.org and have a read in there what you can do to resist this tyranny going on. And please enjoy the day. Thank you so much.
Ja tak, giv lige en kæmpe hånd til Mads Krarup. Sådan der. Fedt mand. God stemning. Tak til jer.